What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily Astrology Horoscope for Monday, January 6th, 2025. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all very much. Hope everybody had a great weekend and all the good things, Let's see what's up with Monday, the moon's day. We said that moon in Aries is going to meet with Chiron and make that first quarter square to the sun in Capricorn. So, if there's one thing about Aries and Capricorn with squares, they want to get things done. So today can definitely feel like that kind of a Monday where there's sort of an intensity that wants to go get some things done, initiate, wants to build something, start things. I think if there's some, laziness in the morning, it can kind of go away towards midday. And I feel like it's more high energy in that sense than not. But there is some interesting Neptunian energy with Neptune at 27 degrees, Mars back in Cancer, degressed back in retrograde. So that kind of brings subtleties as well as even Mars and Pluto still in their opposition, which we've been living through for feels like an eternity at this point, which is intense. So it's like these subtle intensities that wants to initiate, wants to kick things off. Now, Mercury is in Sagittarius going through the galactic center over the next 2 days, and it is square Neptune exact today, too. So it's interesting. There's like subtle intensities. I feel like that's a good way to put it. I feel like there's a kick, there's a push, there's things that want to be started, want to be identified, want to be understood, but the understanding of it is foggy with Mercury square Neptune. Now, on one hand, it's trying to say, stop looking at things so linearly, you big idiot. Not that you guys are idiots, but stop trying to, figure out the fine print of everything and like go through all these big, hefty contracts and have it all just dialed. There's much more of a instinctual, intuitive initiation. And even with like Neptune and the North Node coming together right now, so much of where we're supposed to be trying to push ourselves and learn is in the unseen realms. It's not in the physical as much, to be honest. And we can maybe have goals or ambitions to start things that have such a physical backing, whether it's monetary, whether it's relationship stuff, whatever it is, goals, certain things that we want that are very tangible. The beauty and the lessons right now are more so in an untangible realm. And how okay we are with that, I think, depends on each and every one of us. Because there's some really beautiful things to take from like the subtle energies, and that comes through intuitive feelings more so than an actual physical knowing. It's confusing, right? I feel I'm confused just trying to make sense of some of that myself, but that's kind of how things can start off if you're hyper focused on needing some kind of a clarity because there's no clarity right now in pretty much anything. So it's like, are we okay with those unclarities? Can we still dream? Can we still envision things? Can we trust our intuition and the impulse that our intuition wants us to be guided towards and to go off on and to try and to start? So I think there's plenty of opportunity, plenty of things to start. It's weird because it's confusing and we don't know. We can only feel. So this Monday starts off very feeling oriented for this week, and try not to feel overly like mentally burdened. Mercury's already struggling to understand the big picture of, existence in Sagittarius, and now it's squaring Neptune in Pisces, the universe. And what do you want me to say? I don't know. There's no clarity. But we don't need clarity, I think, to have a good day and to start things and to build something in life. I think we just have to be really focused on our instincts with the North Node in Aries and this moon in Aries, and even meeting with Chiron by the end of the day, of trusting ourselves, trusting our impulses, feeling empowered to be an individual and to trust our individual feelings, that they're proper, that they are the fact and the clarity that we need. But understanding them, well, that's when things get unclear. And I think we all, as humans, we're very mercurial. I feel like humans are very mercurial by nature. We have these brains, and they want to think and understand and learn and communicate. And sometimes, if we don't have one of those, we feel very unsure. And I think that life is full of unsureties, right? Just trust yourself. You don't need you don't need anything but the trust of yourself and the trust of your impulse right now to act and to do. And I think that the subtleties are going to be very intense today. And I think there is an intensity, but there's also a sort of fog. I mean, don't be surprised if you do feel some kind of a brain fog today or mental confusion amidst wanting so badly almost to just get certain things done. And you'll get some things done. I feel like there's enough energy right now that wants to get things done that it's going to get done one way or another. But, how much mental capital do we really want to spend right now? And do we have the capacity for that? And that's going to differ for each and every one. But I think outside the box thinking, non-linear thinking, intuitive thinking, these are all really strong right now. So we're kind of in this very beautiful void where there's more in the non-linear to bring into the linear, but it all comes from being very strong and empowered by what's going on within you and doing something with that and not feeling scared or frightened because there's not really any tangible proof or evidence that it's going to work. And I think that's just kind of how the week kicks off. So you got to trust yourself. And that's it. Venus is in Pisces, of course, wants to have the fairy tale of life right now. I think there's all sorts of ideals and hopes and sort of, dreams we can dream up and scheme up about what we're going to create in this life and what's going to make life better and take it to the top notch. And that's beautiful because we want to be in that space where we can dream and where we can sort of think big and realize, we're worth so much. And a lot of it too comes back to like a really unconditional self-love with Venus in Pisces that is so strong. And I think if you're willing to embrace that strength and forgive, for being confused, forgive for being, a little tired, or forgive for wanting to push so hard that it's making you upset, like forgive yourself for all of it. Like just love yourself for having some drive right now, because I think ultimately, with Mars back in Cancer and dispositing the Moon and Chiron and the North Node and retrograde and opposite Pluto in this journey, just finding that motivation to move forward right now is harder than it's been in a while, right? So keep pushing, love yourself, keep dreaming. Today's a dream. Today could be a beautiful, beautiful dream for people that want to go past the boundaries of the physical, limits. And I think, for people that are really, again, bound to certain structures and operations of how things need to go, all of a sudden it becomes this very confusing, muddy, limited space. And I don't know, I just don't want to do that, because by the time, again, the moon gets to Chiron, like, do we really want to be picking our own wounds about not feeling empowered, or like we have a sense of self right now, feeling void from ego? And I know the spiritual community has beef with ego, right? But in the end, we all have an ego, and we want to love our ego unconditionally because it gets us moving in life and it makes things happen and it gives us something to relate to others, and without it we would literally just be spirits. And that sounds great, but we're not. We're human in this reality, and we don't want to beat ourselves up for having desires. I think desires are strong right now, and I think we're going to feel that with this square with the sun and the moon, like this push that wants to make things happen. But whether or not it happens is a really interesting thing right now. But there's feelings. Use those constructively to build yourself up stronger, more so than a physical outcome, if that makes sense. I love you guys. I hope you have a great moon day. And we'll see what card we pull. Oh my gosh, love this card. Four Wands upright. Great card. It's a celebration, the homecoming card. I love that it's in Wands for this too, just for today, because it feels like a lot of the fire wants to be sort of suppressed within us, of like how we can move and be and show ourselves. And we want to be celebrating ourselves right now, celebrating that we have feelings, that we have an intuition, that we can have dreams, and that dreams can become reality, and all these different things. But it's a beautiful thing right now to come back home and celebrate yourself, even when maybe we don't feel like we have anything to celebrate for, but just to celebrate just where you've come, just to celebrate the breath of life right now. I think there's an infinite number of things we could all celebrate about ourselves, whether it's things that we've overcome recently or even over a week or a weekend or whatever it might be. But celebrate yourself today, and I think that you'll find a lot of satisfaction in that, and that's where the empowering sort of sweetness of a day like this can come from, because there might be no good reason to celebrate yourself other than you just celebrating that you're doing something, and you are something, and you are someone. So celebrate that, and I bet you feel pretty good. Today can be very empowering, but it's being able to, in my opinion, kind of like use the subtle intensities to celebrate yourself for really no other reason than that we should celebrate ourselves. We should celebrate the other people in our lives too that we love and care for, that we see also celebrating themselves. And if people aren't celebrating themselves at all, but you're celebrating yourself and you love that person, well, go celebrate them and give them some of that love too. Because maybe we're all just needing a little bit of that right now. I don't even know if that's with other people astrologically related. Could be in a few different ways, but I just intuitively feel that. So I love you guys. Have a beautiful Monday, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love. Peace.